Have you hung out with Brady socially?
Not really hung out. No, not really.
When you were in New England?
Yeah.
You
I
didn't-
was around a lot and around him, and I had to hand him stuff all the time, and I was always handing him papers. And at the time, I was always like, "Hey, Tom, we got to get we're wasting half of the Brazilian and Giselle's home country rainforest with all this stuff we're printing out every day. Let's save the world and go to the tablets or the iPad." And I'm telling you,
what was your job?
The next year it happened.
What was your job in New England?
Do whatever they say, boy. That's what I was.
Wow.
I mean, I was quality control. I had some things involved in scouting, and whatever they yelled at me to do next. That was my job.
But how did it feel, though, when Tom says, "Hey, did you hear Tom's getting all the guys together to go out and have beers?" And then you weren't that far removed.
Then I wasn't invited,
Yes.
right? Well, one, he was like, "Well, he's not allowed out of his shackles, so they're not letting him out of his dungeon up there." But no, of course, that was a tough transition period in general. I'm sitting there just getting done playing football, going, "Damn, I'm better than some of these guys in the league. I can't believe this," right? And yeah, I'd see him and some of the other guys on the team be like, "Yeah, I wish I could hang out with them. I wish I could go hang with Brady right now." I really love Tom Brady as a guy. I know I've been on him about Deflategate. There's no doubt about that, and I won't back down from that. But everything else about Tom Brady, I thoroughly admire. I admired my time with him, his work ethic. And
Wait, what bothered you about Deflate? That he did it and didn't admit to it?
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
exactly.
But you know what? It's a stupid rule.
Well, it's not a stupid rule. I'll disagree with you there.
Yes,
if it was a stupid rule, then let the kids, then let Mahomes throw a college football and see what you think about that when he throws it 90 yards from his feet.
No, in NFL,
from his knees.
you get to handle, you get the ball that you want, and then I get the ball that I want.
I
What's
know,
the big
but
deal?
because if you let me take air out of the football, my arm will go up exponentially, and I'll be able to control it and doing things that I wouldn't be able to do if the ball was inflated properly.
What
That's
is the big deal? We're giving you an advantage. I get an advantage. I get the ball that I want. We do this with kickers. Why not with quarterbacks? It's silly.
Well, at some point, there has to be a baseline for everybody has to do the same thing. So in basketball, do we want to – some of the guys aren't shooting as good. Should we tell them to lower the basket? Or some of the guys don't run as fast. Should we tell some of the faster guys to slow down in the NFL?
No,
hey,
each offense gets their own football. We're not talking about lowering a rim.
Well, that's not – no, I want something that's it's a sport of rules and what we do when we play with a ball that's the same size. What sport does that go on?
You sound like your old
different
man.
Baseballs. Hey, use a metal baseball bat this time up. Who cares? I mean, we'll let you use metal bats today, too. Let us use metal bats.
It's only two people who are affected by this, the quarterbacks. That's all, a couple of PSIs.
No, the quarterbacks, it does. And yes, it would affect the ability to throw it through weather.
Throwing it.
It's going to help. It's going to help people who catch the ball. It's going to help the running backs and everybody else that has to grab the ball not fumble the ball as much because it's not properly inflated. So now you can squeeze it to death. Yes, 100%.
What happened to you? You're like your old man.
I'm just the realest dude you've ever met. I'm just sorry. That's just the way it is.
Good to talk to
but
you.
But no, other than that, Brady's awesome. And what Brady did show us is that 2 weeks later in Super Bowl 49, he could throw lasers all over the field. And that's why I was mad at that. Because I was like, you don't need that. You're the man. That's all. That was my point.
You know Aaron Rodgers overinflated footballs?
Hey, listen, if you want to make it harder on yourself, go ahead. I mean,
no, he told me that he overinflated. Nobody got upset about that.
Because everybody would go, that's a disadvantage. Nobody in football would go, put a bigger object in my hand to make it.
It had to be an advantage for him to overinflate it.
I mean, he must have just liked how it felt in his hand, right? That would be the big thing. But I don't think you're going to find a common consensus of quarterbacks through the history of time that are going to go, make the ball bigger and heavier, and I'll throw it better.
Oh my
Aaron
God.
Rodgers is a freak of nature, right? He's got gigantic hands, and he's arguably the greatest arm ever. And why'd you got to do this to me? Why'd you got to bring me down this lane with Brady and all this? Now I got to hear this crap again. Brady's the man. Get off his back. Get off my back.
Get off my lawn. That's what you should be saying.